Alright, welcome back to the realest channel on YouTube, and we saw a very exciting fight last night between Ryan Garcia and Luke Campbell. Luke Campbell was in the fight. It was a very competitive fight. Ryan Garcia started very aggressive. He knows Luke Campbell is not a front foot fighter. He's not going to press the action. He took it on himself, being the poster boy, to make sure that the crowd were entertained, and he took the fight to Luke Campbell almost immediately, which was impressive to see and is a good show of confidence, and I think a good reflection on what is happening in Team Canelo right now, because we saw Frank Sanchez take it to his opponent most recently, take the guy out. We see Canelo take it to Callum Smith for 12 rounds, and you can see Ryan, the youngest, the protege of the camp, came through with the same sort of tactic, which was come forward, aggressive power punches in combinations, and it was effective. However, there was times in the fight where he looked vulnerable, as we know. Speaking of that, let's get into that clip right now. You see where Luke fainted to the body here and came over the top with a looping left hand from the southpaw position, which put Ryan Garcia down. And we're gonna have a look again, just rewind it quickly right there. Feints to the body, bang over the top, gets Ryan down on the canvas. Was it a surprise to see Ryan Garcia drop? No, because that is kind of a byproduct of aggressive boxing. You know, boxing is about life, boxing is about balance, life is about balance, and balance is the way to everything. And there was times in the fights where he was over aggressive. So he did get caught, and that isn't peculiar with that fighting style. So when I saw him go down, we were speaking amongst the guys. Mayor was messaging me at the same time, JJ Leon, and I was like, he can get up and win, because he got up very quickly. He didn't seem hurt. He seemed like, okay, you caught me, I didn't see the shot, but he took the shot very well, got up and looked to resume the game plan as if he didn't get knocked down. So maturity was shown yesterday from Ryan Garcia. A lot of people give him a hard time for being a pretty boy and being a social media person, but obviously is someone who has a very similar story to his, in terms of being a boxer from a kid and then developing a following and then people taking you less seriously. I enjoy seeing him prove everyone wrong and beat elite fighters. Luke Campbell, obviously a fellow UK man. You're always going to support the guy that comes from where you're from, but then to see Ryan win is like, I gain in both ways. Seeing my countrymen win, or seeing someone who's also opening doors for the likes of myself win, is also great. Let's get to the knockout here, which was a beautiful body shot. He's there and he just lunged in really with a left hook to the body. Now it looks like a reckless move, and we watch it again. Bang, lovely floating rib area, crippled him, couldn't get up. It looks like one of those rash moves, but it was ultra fast for one, and it was set up by a dangerous left hook to the head. Now, Ryan Garcia does have an instinctive speed, ultra speed left hook that comes in when the opponent tries to attack, and he counters with a beautiful, quick left hook most of the time, and we've seen KOs as a result of this counter punch. So he caught Luke with that punch at the end of round 5. My prediction was that he would stop him with a quick counter left hook in round 5, but it was right at the end, and he got rocked at the end of the round. Luke made it back to his stool. But I did predict that left hook would be a problem, because it does come on the blind side of a southpaw. You have to remember, a southpaw is this way, all right? And then you got a left hook. You got someone in front of you just throwing a left hook here. So it does go around and hit you on the temple on the blind side. And with that being Ryan's special punch, I did predict a KO win for Ryan Garcia yesterday. As much as people said he's not seasoned and he's not experienced, I did expect to see a left hook KO to the head, not to the body. But because of that dangerous shot to the head, Luke made the assumption that if he kept his guard high, he'd be able to absorb the left hook on the guard and continue the fight. Ryan decided to lunge in with a left hook to the body, which, as we know, in boxing, one punch can change everything. And that was the one punch that changed everything for him, because he landed a beautiful left hook to the body. And yeah, it was great to see. And I'm happy for him, and I send my congrats to him, because he did beat an elite level fighter who hasn't been stopped before by these guys like Lomachenko and Linares, and we're looking at elite opponents, and he hasn't been stopped by these guys. So for Ryan to send out that statement, I think does seal Luke Campbell's career shut. Personally, I believe if you lose to the elite, there's always leeway to come back and people make the exception for you. Now you're losing to the next generation that are coming through, who are not considered elite pound for pound fighters in the world. It might be time to hang up the gloves, because boxing is very unforgiving, and there's only a certain amount of losses from a certain amount of people that you can get before doors start to close. So I think Luke, great fighter, Olympian, not just an Olympian, but Olympic Gold Medalist, accomplished fighter. I've always respected him as a fighter, but it might be time to let the new generation, such as Tank, Teofimo, Devin, Ryan, Shakur Stevenson, if he chooses to step up, to take over and fly the flag for the 135-pound division. Speaking on others in the division, immediately yesterday in the post-fight interview, Tank was the first name on Ryan Garcia's lips. Now, I don't know, or I do know why. Obviously, that will be a huge fight. Two different followings, completely different followings that will collide to watch that fight. You got the younger generation, the YouTube lot. You know, I know Ryan's got a lot of girls that follow him as well, and he's the pretty guy. And then on Tank's side, you got likes of me and Floyd and the rest of us who are there backing and supporting him. So that would be two worlds that collide and would be a big fight. It's a bit upsetting to see Devin on the back burner. I've known Devin since I was 12 years old, and he does have a following, but he doesn't have a following like the others in the division. If he was in any other division, he probably would be the cash cow. But because he's actually fell into an era where there is superstars in the 135-pound division, the lightweight division, he is slightly behind. And it doesn't make him appealing to fight, because he's a very good fighter and there's a high chance he will beat you. And if there isn't enough eyes watching it, it's almost not worth it to potentially lose to someone or fight someone of that caliber when it's not matching up revenue wise and attention wise. So Devin is in a bit of a sticky position. Elite fighter, very good fighter, holds the WBC title, not the franchise belt, which is held by Teofimo, but he holds the WBC world title, and Ryan holds the interim title now. So those three are really on the same governing body trail to fight each other. Excuse me. I think calling out Tank is the wrong thing. Tank will demolish Ryan Garcia. At the beginning of the video, you heard me sing his praises, but I'm also going to speak the facts on what I think would happen in a fight between Tank and Ryan. I think Ryan gets knocked out cold, and it wouldn't take very long either for Tank to do the job. I believe Devin and Ryan is more of a equal fight, more competitive fight, because they have history from the amateurs, and they're both quick fighters. They're both young fighters like my age. You know, they were a bit younger than Tank and them, and it would be a very competitive fight. I put my money on Devin to win because I believe Devin is a better boxer and the class will show through in the later rounds. But it will be very exciting in the beginning whilst Ryan is fresh and throwing those explosive offbeat combinations that make him very hard to time. So 135-pound division is in a very interesting position right now, and I'm excited to see how it all unravels and how it all unfolds. I am not going to keep you too long today. I wanted to keep this reaction and this review on, the lightweight division and an update very brief. I appreciate you all tuning into the channel. Happy New Year. It is 2021, and I'm gassed that this year I will recover from injury and I will be back in the ring. Okay, if you want to become a member of the channel and catch up on the latest boxing tutorials, the link is in the description. If you would like to listen to my music, then the link is in the description. And if you want to follow me on any other socials, then the link is also in the description. Thank you for listening. It's the realest. It will forever be the realest. And you know what time it is. Boom!